everyone, Laura Lynn from the Mama Pop Quilt Shop here. Thank you very much for joining us for a weekend project. We're working on a, it's like a little panel kit actually. It's called sidelights. Sorry, my microphone went down there. Sidelights and finished quilt size. This is an average of 46.5 by 62.5, but you know, and it gives you some measurements in the back of what you're going to need to build out your frames and your like outside border and stuff like that. So you know, it's really kind of cute. Anyways, the kit was given to me by my friend Angie, who lives in Texas, and to honor Texas and the disaster that has happened there recently with Hurricane Harvey, we're going to do this little challenge that she gave to me not too long ago. She came up to the quilt shop and purchased a this Canada's 150th panel here, and I think that's what inspired her to give me a little Texas kit from her home state too. So I thought I really, really love it, and thank you very much for that, and we're going to do it today. So what I have here, since my panel piece is a little bit bigger than what's on here, and I didn't want to trim one little iota off this panel piece because I just love it. So I'm going to stand up here and hopefully Pop can get it all in. It's the Lone Star State, the state of Texas. It's got all this beautiful stuff, the flower, the butterflies, the cows, the oil, everything, you name it. Armadillo, the little cute little lizard on the bottom, I don't know what that is. Spurs and hats and ropes and everything in buffalo. So love it, love it, love it. Didn't want to trim any of it, so I just used those as my dimensions for my panel and adapted this outside border here. So mine ends up being about 3 inches on this side and 5 inches there. That's what I chose. Okay, you can do whatever you like. So, but then the rest is just pretty much you building up the borders, okay? So we're gonna add the bottom piece that we need to. The little destructions are right here, so we're gonna add that piece right there, okay? We got some beautiful fabric here. This is cotton, obviously cotton of Texas. We're gonna add it onto the bottom. And then we're gonna add the side piece on, and then we're gonna add this row of blocks that I've already done, but we're gonna build out a few more blocks, okay? So we'll do that there. And I mixed and matched. Of course, it's red, white, and blue, you know. And I wanted them, you know, to obviously to mix and match. So we'll pop a couple pins in here. This is cut as the same width as my bottom here, which is 22.5. I'm just going to pop a few pins in here. Okay. And sew away. And we'll wake up Mr. Nomi here. Oops, there we go. So I put the bottom one on, and then the side one on. We're going to put it on down on the well, I guess it would be the right hand side if we were looking at it, down on this side, and then we're going to add our blocks, okay? And then we'll add our blocks from underneath. Okay, just put a fresh bobbin in, so we're ready to rock and roll for a little bit. Hopefully everybody's enjoying your Saturday. Can't believe it's the long weekend and school starts on Tuesday. It's just going to be crazy. But I am excited. I get a whistle. Woo! It's the little things. It's the little things. Okay, now we're going to give that a little press. It says always press towards the panel. Okay, so press towards the panel. We shall go. Okay, oops, I forgot one pin in there. Put that there. We'll press towards the panel, okay, and then we will line up, because we're putting it on this side here, the right hand side, this panel, or this piece right here. So hopefully, I have my smath. Well, I was going to, because it was a strip of it, I wanted to put that little piece section down at the bottom. Okay. So that should be right there. And that was 45. 45 this way, right? Because we just added 3 inches onto the bottom. It was only 42. So now it's 45. Okay. And that should even it up for our blocks. And of course, the blocks say on the destructions, also known as the instructions, 2-inch strips, but I used 2.5 because I had such a little bit bigger panel piece that I was trying to accommodate for a little bit of extra space by adding a 1/2 inch onto my my strips and stuff. So I think it worked out. I think it's going to look just fine. Okay, so like I said, we're just going to pin it up a little bit here. Get it all lined up. And that's the most two difficult pieces right there, is to figure out what you need if you're adding blocks and stuff on the bottom, is what these two pieces need to be, because your panel is a little bit different than what they say, you know, instruction wise. Instead of being the 22 by 38 or something like that, it's, you know, I had the 22.5, so that was pretty good. Just a little bit different the other way. Okay, so sew all the way down, and the glasses go. It's a good thing I don't need them right now. Take the pins out as you go. Looking forward to tomorrow's live stream. We're hoping, cross our fingers, that it works out the way we're anticipating, because we'll be on the long arm. The north and south quilt is already on the long arm. It's had a little bit of stitching done on it, just more of a stitch in the ditch at the top row. That's pretty much it. That's all I've had a chance for. So, but very excited to get on it, get stitching away. I'm very excited for the project for my friends, so. Doo-doo-doo. Hopefully I'm not bouncing the cameras too much. I'm sorry if I am. Just feel like being a little bit of a lead foot today. Got sewing to do. I want to get this whole little panel thingy done. That's why I've kind of pre-cut most everything. Obviously I had to measure as we go for the other pieces, because I had to adapt, but I didn't want to do too much, or I would have had to sew stuff together to get the right measurements, because I'm not that smart otherwise. But a little bit of math, that's all it took. A little bit of math. Okay, press to the panel, it says. So press to the panel. Do that side, a little on this side. I love it how that little blue frames that creamy colored panel. It's beautiful. Beautiful. See, and I grew up in Alberta, and Calgary being specific. We were always known as Texas of the North, so I feel I have a connection with Texas. So thank you to everybody who has helped out in any way whatsoever, to them who are having some issues at this moment with lots of water. So there's that panel just with those two pieces there. Now we're going to add the little side blocks here. Okay. And I think I had it, so yeah, this one was at the top. I really like that star at the top. And we'll give it a pin. That should go all the way down to this side right here. Perfect. Okay. I'll pop a couple of pins in. Okay. Now always if you have a smooth piece, let it ride down on the feed dogs. You have a chance to manipulate the tabs if you're using the more of a piece top on top right here. So if that makes any sense. Okay. Okay. Love the fabric she gave me. She gave me everything, all the fabric, everything to make this whole kit. I did pick out a nice creamy color for the background, or not background, but the backing. But I think I'm actually going to go and find some more, I don't know, more of a Western theme sort of backing to it. I think I'd like that best. Okay, so now I'm going to sew that one on. And then we'll work on a couple of squares, so we got to finish off our bottom row. Very excited about that, our bottom row of squares. Okay, so let's do this, and then we'll make some squares. Thank you everybody who's liked and subscribed and upvoted our videos via VidMe and stuff like that, and have come out and supported us with the live streams. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very, very much. We really, really appreciate it. It's brought us a lot of fun and camaraderie and I don't know, just a little bit of togetherness as the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, you know, like we're all working together for the same goal. The whole love of fabric. Now we're going to press towards the panel because it says that. So we're going to press towards the panel once we get this side on. It gives you all the cutting instructions, but like I say, if you have to adapt as you're going along, your panel's a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, you know, don't panic. You can still use this kit. Just like I say, average out, if you're scared, use some scrappy bits. Cut it, sew it, see if it looks good, pin it, whatever, you know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay, so let's flip this here. Okay, it says press towards the panel. That's towards the panel. Could be end up my quilt for the bed. It's going to be big. All right, now we will set the seam over here. Very lovely. I love the fabrics. So pretty. Even Pop and I, when we got all hitched up those 22 years ago plus, we had a country wedding. Got married in a nature park. We loved it. What do you think of that? Okay, so now we get to build some blocks. Woohoo! Alrighty, blocks for the bottom. All right, so we'll flip that over there. Could stay. I'm loving the whole color combination. It's just gonna pop right out, and hopefully it gets a lot of attention. That's the whole goal. Okay, so now it said to mix and match. You were cutting 10, but you really only needed 9. So one, of course, is going to be left over and extra. So I thought that would go into the orphan block pile, and I'm going to have this really weird and odd, massive quilt with all the odd blocks that I have because it's a mix of color of everything. So what I was trying to do is mix a red with a blue and just go by that. So I think I kind of like this one. I'm not sure if I've done that one before. No, I don't think so. Nope, we'll do that one. Okay, so the block is 5.5 by 5.5, and of course, and then the strip that you add on the side would be 5.5 by whatever width you want. That's completely up to you. It said 2, I did 2.5. You just want to put them both on both sides, and then come back and put the other 2 on, and that's 9.5 by whatever width you choose. So you can just do this as a chain piece if you like. So let's do this one, and we will put this one together here with these 2 pieces, and then we'll put the big sides on, because I really only need to make 3 more. So here's 1, and then this could be 2, and then I'll pick another one from there of the 2 blues. So what should I pick, the flower or the stars, Pop? Which one? Stars? Okay. Okay. I love that little cutter on the side. There was a couple of this, actually it was this one right here. I had a little bit of hard time figuring out which one was the top and what was the bottom of that one. I was like, wait a second. It looks really good from either side. I like it. Okay, you say the stars. Okay, the stars, we will use this handkerchief, sort of bandana fabric, which I was really loving. It looks like a handkerchief upon handkerchief upon handkerchief, different styles and stuff like that. I love that. That is a great idea to make a picnic blanket or a first-time quilt. Head to the dollar store. Pick yourself up 12 handkerchiefs for $1.50 each. Boom. Bitty, boom, you got yourself a huge blanket. Sew all those 12 together. And then you quilt it up, or you hand stitch it, or you do something else. I mean, that is instant cute, instant gratification, especially if you do black and white and red, you know, gray and purple or something like that. Those two, put 2 tones in it, it's gonna look amazing. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can just do big 2 12-inch squares, right? It's how it's put together. It's what makes the difference, right? All right, so we're gonna add our, oh, let's press these 3. There we go, I was gonna say I should have 3, and then we'll do the long sides on them, okay? And I've pressed everything beforehand of cutting, and I Mary Ellen Lennon best pressed it to death. Not to death, sorry. Just pressed it a lot. And of course we got Bella's beautiful quilt. Just I got a little bit more hand stitching to do right behind me here. And it looks fantastic. She's done such a great job. Talented little 5-year-old, let me tell you. I hope I have the joy of quilting her quilts from now on, let me tell you. She's gonna be a prize winner. And I'll be like, I knew her when. She was just wee little thing. With the cutest little cheeks. All right, now add those to the long sides, and then you make yourself a nice square. Okay. And then we'll add a couple more sides, and we'll have all our squares done that we need to do our bottom row. And then it's just a couple borders and we're done. She gave me this cowie print and these boots and lasso and hat and spurs and stuff like that, and I just love it. So I've chosen those to be my 2 different borders. It's got one that goes all the way around, so I'm gonna go dit or dit and dit or whatever. I haven't quite decided yet. We'll get there. We'll do that when we get there. So whoops, don't lose that one. Okay, do. And of course this will be a long arm Wednesday. I'm going to quilt up the 3D stacking tumble block on this long arm Wednesday, so check it out. Should be fun. Okay, so get that other side done. And that's 2 squares done, 2 blocks done. Okay. That over on the pressing pile because I wanted 2 reds and 2 blues to kind of even out my quota there. Okay, so that'll be my block for the orphan pile. I may cut another red square or something, or maybe red pieces to match, so I can have an opposite and know where this kit, where that block came from was from this kit, and always remember it. So it'll be one interesting quilt. I'll have to figure out how to tie all those blocks together, because right now it probably is just gonna go, what happened? Was this some sort of art collage and everybody did one block? Yeah, there's some odd ones out there. I was trying to wait till about, what, 16 or 20 blocks before you can make like a half decent quilt, right? It'll probably just be the picnic blanket or something. Okay, so now we're gonna press all these 3, okay? I like those 2 together. That's nice. I don't think I did those 2. Oh, that's pretty. What do you think of that? Isn't that lovely? That's my favorite block so far. That one right there. It's beautiful. All right. Oops, don't fold that under. You get a little press crease, silly. All right, now to put them in the order they need to be, because I don't want 2 of the same color in the bottom corner, so I want a red. So I want a red down here, and since that is a nice lined one already, I don't want that one. So if my math was correct, I should be able to go, which I'm really crossing my fingers right now that it was correct. I'm gonna lay them that way. Okay, so that's my one. I'm really happy with that layout. Yes. Okay, so we were gonna do those 2 and then those 2. Okay. And what I was trying to do, minus the scooching here, is whatever was a short side here, it had a long side attached to it. So we know we wanted that and that, so that's a long and a short, and that is a long and a short, a fruit fly. Okay, so we're gonna sew those together. You can keep them all the same way or whatever. I just thought about doing them opposite, and in that way, there wasn't any 2 short sides together. You know what I mean? Okay, and now we will sew these 2 together and then sew the 2 together themselves, the 4-pack, okay? And then you'll see what it's gonna look like with the little squares on. And thank you again, Miss Angie, for bringing me this kit. I've had a lot of fun putting it together. Okay, so let's do a little press for these two. Do a little press for these two. That's the order we want them in. Yes, there we go. Love all the fabrics she chose. You know, and I'm sure she went having fun through her collection, was like, oh, I should give her this and I should give her that. That's half the fun, you know. Like when Bella came and I was getting some scraps ready for her, and, you know, because there's nothing better than coming away from a visit with somebody who's got lots of scraps to spare, and just going home and play with them, because it's fabrics you have never seen before, right? So when it's all new to you. So this is, to me, is like playing with someone's little bits and bobs, right? Having some fun. Okay, we'll press. And then we're gonna pin. All right, now we're gonna pin it to the bottom. Okay. I don't want that one. I want the yellow ones. We can see them. Okay, like I said, try and keep this smooth to the bottom where the feed dogs are. Keep all your seams up top so you can control which way they're going to flip and flop. Okay, so pin one on either side, then get one right in the center, and then work your way. Usually another pin or two on either side and you should be good to go. Okay. Try and make sure this little seam down here, because you know it's a box on top of a box. We want to make sure that's nice and smooth. That's nicely nestled right against each other, okay? Alrighty. Can't wait to see this. Since I've did those first squares, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see it till it's right at this spot right here after this section's been added on. Okay. Try and keep a consistent 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you keep your seam allowance consistent, whether it's a 1/4 inch, a scant 1/4 inch, a fat 1/4 inch, whatever, as long as you keep it consistent throughout your project, you should be okay. It may be a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit bigger, but everything should still square up in the end, right? So as long as you keep it consistent, you're following the same line, or a mark on your foot, or a mark on your table, your tray, or a laser, or what have you, whatever it is that helps guide you. Hold on, find that before my foot does. Okay, yep, got it. All right, that's done. Take that out, and then we will show you what we've been doing, okay, for the last couple of minutes here. Sorry. I know there's lots of quilts that are being made up. If anybody needs, that is from the States and needs them long-armed, I'm happy to do it. As long as it's a donation for Texas, happy to oblige on that department, okay? So here, I'll hold it sideways so you can see it. Okay, what do you think of that? Isn't it beautiful? Did my seam come together? Pretty good, pretty good. Oh. And then it's just a few little borders of, here, I'll show you right now, because that's going to take some time to get it all cut. So I'll show you right here. Do-do-do. So this is what it's going to look like. It's going to put this little print right here. And then this one probably right along the bottom. And then it's going to be another big chunk, another big 5-inch chunk of this Texas cotton print. There we go. Isn't that going to be beautiful? That's going to be so, so beautiful. I can't wait. Can't wait to finish it up. Very good. Okay. All right, so now we need to measure. I'm going to measure my top and my bottom. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to measure my sides first, because I could do it any way I like, because you're just building a border, right? So let's measure. So we would be, what, at 50, 52, 54, 55. So 55 long. Let's do that again right in the middle. Yep, and at the other end. That's the best way to get your average. Okay, so 55. Of course, that's going to need 2 pieces, right? And I did put 2 of them together here. And I will measure out 55. Cut that, and we'll put it onto the sides. Okay, no, actually, I want that, and I wanted that on the bottom. Oops, sorry, I wanted the print, the horse print or the cow print or whatever print it is. Okay, so that is 30. 30, 40, 55. And then we take this one, add it to this one, and we should get another 55 for the other side, okay? But we have to sew it, okay? Okay, make sure we don't have any funky edges to deal with here. We go 30, pinch it, don't let go. 30, 40, 55. And that should be our 2 sides done. And then when that's on, we measure and we get our 2 bottom pieces that we take out of that, okay? So let's put these 2 sides pieces on. Like I say, pin at one end, pin at the other, and then work your way. Oh, where did it go? This has been such a fast summer. It's just been, where did it go? I'm just like, should be started, should be just starting, not just ending. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Make sure I got that. Did I cut that wrong? Hold on. $30. Seems a little long, that's why I'm curious. I must have, because that, no way. That is 55, there's like an extra inch there. Must have miscounted. Oopsies. Okay, let's do that again. This is too long and not too short. Because that's always a problem. It's a very frustrating problem, actually. All right, so here, 30. Yeah, for some reason I had it 26 and a half or 26 and a quarter. Crazy. 25. There we go. See, it's always good to measure that way, because then if you would have already sewn it, you'd have been like, wait a second, what happened to this other edge? Where did it come from? Been like, wait a minute here. There. It's always best to check. That lines up much better. As you're doing, you're kind of holding the fabric next to the edges as you're making your way to the other corner, making sure it's going to be all nice and even. Pin the center, and then work a couple on the outsides. Should be just 1 or 2, should be just fine. Okay. I'm gonna wait till, I know my friend Angie, she was in a safe place, thank goodness. But it would be nice to hear from some of my other Texas buddies down there. I think there's Teresa and Rachel and Rebecca, I believe, or some of them that were in Texas as well. So it'd be nice to hear from you. And if you need anything, please let us know. We will try and help. We got big hearts. We try and help. And I can't wait to quilt this up and hang it so proudly here in the quilt shop. And And Angie, I accept your challenge. And when things calm down, I expect to see my Canadian panel. It makes me, I was like, oh, I should have got her at least the Ontario panel that I found in Alberta when we were there. So there's one piece on, there's one side. Check that out, eh? Doesn't that look pretty cool? Okay, we'll sew the other one first and then we'll press, okay? Did I already cut that? No, I didn't. Or did I? No, there's no way. That's 55. Okay, nope. Just making sure. Okay, we don't want any of the little dotty dots on the fabric, so we'll cut that off. Oh, I'm using the wrong one. What a dork. Oh, there we go. It's like, wait a second here. That's the wrong one. Oh, okay. I think I just lost my battery pack. It's okay. Here, we'll sew that on. And then we'll cut our piece we need, which was 55. Okay. Of course, we want the most that we can get from it. I probably already had it at the right piece. It's such a dork, I just redid it again. Okay, so there's 30. Yeah, I did. Why don't you say something? How come you're not up on the screen saying something to me? You guys get used to being in my living room, and then when you're not there, I feel weird just talking to myself. All right, so we're gonna pin that on the other side. Oh, the joys of the quilt shop and the craziness that goes on here. Definitely a daily occurrence. Okay, loving this. Love this fabric. All right, so pinned on both sides. And then stretch it out. Pin right in the center. That's the best way to get something to fit. Because you're going to have an average. Not everything's going to be bang on, especially as you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This just happens to be pretty darn close because we're on a panel piece itself, right? So as your progress and your project gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it's more crucial every single time to measure each edge and the one in the center and take that average of those three. And that is what gives you a nice, clean, straight, non-wavy border. Okay. We're going to press towards the panel as soon as we get this row on. Okay. I have to say I'm very happy the way the border of the North and South quilt that we have been working on the live streams for the past 5 weeks will be obviously live streamed tomorrow. Very excited about that. It came together quite beautifully. I took a lot of your suggestions and, you know, brain-thoughted some of my own, and, you know, really it was a mix of everything, and I really, really appreciate everybody's feedback. It was awesome. It was awesome to have that connection together, that we worked on that for Lawrence and Tanya. All right, so I'm going to hold this up, and then I'm going to give it a press. Oops, upside down. Oh, hold on. Oh, I did lose my battery pack. Okay. There we go. And then I got another top and bottom and then that blue one to do. So I'm going to finish that up before I, you know, do a little post or take the picture. So I want to thank everybody for sticking around and watching this weekend's project, and to help bring awareness to Texas, and hopefully we can all help in some way. Even just a little bit help. A little bit goes a long way. Okay. So thanks everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow for the live stream. Okay. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Go Texas!